Tales from my D&D campaign.
Previously.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. My favorite part was when you killed Rygax. I'm still right here. Yes, your commitment to the bit is admirable. I found it. Don't let that key hit the lock. They rush towards the dais, jam the key in the keyhole, and everything goes black for a moment. This should be the portal to the Fadelands. Let's get the out. Are we near Vanover? No, you're farther north and east than you've previously adventured. But it's still Vistria. Rygax came through with us? I needed out of that accursed place. Finding my way back to the Shadowfell is a trivial problem in the grand scheme of things. And it wouldn't hurt to let the heat die down a bit before I return.
There's a lot of heat back there.
How many Vampire Kings have you pissed off? Well, all of them, to be sure. But 2 in just the last 4 days is a bit much. We traveled across half the Shadowfell and pissed off everything along the way. So what's wrong with this plane? Nothing. This is the good one. Yeah, not buying it. Diluvians. I don't know what those are.
Orcs.
Didn't we kick their ass 1,000 years ago? It's too bright during the day. The sun makes me sneeze. That sounds like a you problem. This plane's full of humans. Oh, got it.
I need to find my father. Again.
Don't we have a teleport rune, whatever, set up to get back to Polaron? Yes, though that's farther south, down by Grand Mount. Presumably still being guarded by a couple low-level hand people. And somewhere between here and there should be Zahir, Dwarf Daggerface, and Black Dad, who Rygax had plane shifted to safety roughly 2 days ago. 2 very, very long days. Do we just sleep right here? I don't want to sleep in the woods. I'm sleeping in an inn.
I want a bed, I want a bath, I want
an actual hot meal instead of rations and conjured water. I want a chicken. I want to eat like my body weight in chicken.
Do you want a bath, Draven?
Hell yes.
Water.
Thanks. After slogging through the Nightmare Demigod's challenges, they were too exhausted even to cast Mora's map spell. But they managed to stumble their way to the highway, and from there, they found Glacier, a once major town whose luxury-based economy had faded during the century-long state of war. They, and their portable hole full of silver coin, are welcomed enthusiastically by the town's finest inn, as they rest, regain spells, and level up their characters. I'm not exhausted anymore. We get a stat point at level 16, right? And I get my level 10 rogue ability. I can now take 10s on stealth, perception. I can tumble automatically under most circumstances.
We gained 2 levels in 3 days.
It was very educational. We learned never to go back. That's usually what you learn everywhere you go.
What wisdom do I need for level 8 spells?
10 plus spell level, so 18.
Shit.
You still get the spell slot, but you'll have to use it for lower level ones.
I've been using Zahir's bone mask since we rescued him, but it's only +2 wisdom. I need at least a +4 item. +6 would obviously be better.
Well, let's open up the loot hole and see what we've got. Other than the corpse of a lich golem buried under 6 tons of silver and capped off with a fake Rygax. No fake Rygax. It appears that corpse, along with his equipment, vanished when you escaped Owl's realm. Well, I open up the portable hole and get identifying. Their extra-dimensional storage space contained a veritable mountain of stuff looted from the hidden temple within Mount Pillar, which they hadn't found time to examine through the grueling week of hell. Now, bathed and rested, Draven's artificer skills allowed him to easily determine the properties of all but the most powerful or enigmatic magic items. I already got the +4 hammer, Elfbane hammer. Right, equivalent of a +5 weapon, so that's probably my share of the treasure right there. Other than cursed garbage, vendor trash, and consumables, there's the +6 wisdom amulet of penitence. It also gives +2 to saving throws against fire, but has -4 to poison saves, and reduces your max hit points by 6.
I needed you to craft one anyway. +6 wisdom is huge. Has a couple negatives, but only to stats I can afford to lose.
That's the penalty? Hell, I'd wear that, and I barely use wisdom. Naismith's pick? Which is not actually a pick. It's a +2 blocking halberd of monster slaying. Blocking gives a +2 shield bonus to make up for being two-handed, and Monster Slaying gives plus 2d6 damage against huge creatures and up, plus halves the home rule sized-based damage reduction of massive creatures. I guess it looks like a toothpick next to one of those snake scorpions. Then +3 heavy shield of the sun casts light at will. Yay! But undead have to make a DC 18 will save or be unable to make physical attacks against the wielder for that round. Okay, that's an awesome shield. There are bracers of mind blank, but they are also cursed. So you can't remove them, but the mind blank does work. I just can't figure out what the rest of the curse does. Your genitalia fall off. Oh.
That'd be okay for Black. He's not using his.
Holy crap, there's a lot of loot. I may have been wrong about my share. And lastly, there's this Breastplate of the Master. +4 breastplate makes you immune to charm, +2 versus other compulsions. Twice per day, it can cast a version of Dominate Person, but with a duration only 1 hour.
Only an hour.
DC 17 plus the wearer's int bonus. Wow! However, while you use that ability, your consciousness moves into the target. So you can command your own body only to perform move actions and no skill checks. But you have full control of and share perceptions with the dominated target. They do still get a new save during any round that you try to make them act against their principles, and they won't perform any action they consider self-destructive. If they are killed while you're in there, then you return to your own body nauseated. Draven will be keeping that one. That's good for you? I was wearing a +3 breastplate. This is a straight upgrade and grants immunity to charm. Immune to charm is pretty cool. I mean, I may not use the Dominate, but it's still a really good piece of gear. Never know, might come in handy. Well, I'm certainly not going to use it on innocent people. That's what everyone says. Little one takes the shield, Krillin gets the Ring of Protection, but nobody is putting on those mind blank bracers yet. Not till they can learn more about that curse. We did finally nerf Krillidin's splitting bow though, changing it to double only the first shot each round. That still provided an extra attack at the wielder's highest bonus, still stacked with haste, and could still be used to get double value from special ammunition, like Bane arrows, which made it much more of a fair value for a +3 weapon modifier, rather than effectively doubling all attacks. But it also made Krill the only hero who ended up weaker after the level and loot. Then it was time for them to regain their bearings. I'll hit up my organization contacts. I'm gonna cast some sendings. Daggerface, we're back in northern Vistria. We'll head south and meet you near the teleport circle.
That's great! I knew you'd make it. Have you heard the talk that's going around?
No, and we don't want to know.
A lot of people don't seem to like the king's decision. Things may get a little rough.
Brawler, what's the news?
Short version is, might be heading towards civil war.
When King Edward was presented with the Diluvian peace offer, the time frame for his response was very tight. Messengers were sent to all the nobles in Vistria, but only about half of their responses made it back before the deadline.
And the king accepted the treaty.
It had to be a trap. He knew that. But what were the consequences of saying no? The evil empire's reaction might be worse than the trap, and the king worried about his own people's reaction if he rejected a chance at peace. I largely support the peace treaty and trying to cautiously take advantage of it, but as a Varandi noble myself, I understand why some people, especially from my ancestral country, I understand how wrong it feels. So who's talking civil war? It always comes down to the nobles. Lots of nobles up north and out east,
Farther from the front lines.
they see political or economic advantage, either from the war itself or just from agitating against the treaty. Some of them legit didn't have time to register their protests before the decision. Smarter folk than I think others may have delayed their messengers on purpose, just to give them that excuse. There has been no combat at this point, no bloodshed that Brawler is aware of. But this faction claims that by accepting 1/3 of the land back in the treaty, the king has conceded the other 2/3 of Varandi, conceding to reality. Yeah, the map says you lost, and their side even have a claim to the throne. Sort of. Princess Haruyo Van Smith, the 12-year-old daughter of the King of Varandi, has been speaking out on their behalf.
and the third son of the King of Istria is also with them, though he ain't out there giving speeches. He may have been pseudo-kidnapped by relatives. Call it a gray area.
Damn it, this is what the KT do. This is why they made the offer.
They probably didn't know exactly what would happen, but they had to know their terms would be divisive. That's some Sun Tzu shit.
One of the main objectives of the Hand of Sirius is to maintain stability, so I should sending the leadership and ask what's up with this stuff.
Sending which one of the co-leaders? The Earl of Hanley, the secular guy, or High Priest Matsomi?
I'll contact the Earl. Let him know,
Marcus Jonason, the Earl of Hanley, guy you've met and talked to many times, you can't reach him. Sending just fails.
Really?
That's not good.
You know what? I'll try to reach that gnome artificer,
Fizwell.
Black and I are back from the Shadowfell, looking for status update.
Glad you're back. Things have been going to hell here. Have you run into any of the other guys yet?
No, we haven't run into anyone. What other guys?
The Gauntlet of Sirius.
Oh no. Has the hand fractured?
You could say that. Jonason left and took about 37% of the Basilica's people with him, and I hear even greater numbers have sided with him in the north.
Wow, we're gone a month, and this is what happens? Was there fighting?
No, though it was very tense for a moment. We all took an oath, but they and the Earl are interpreting it differently. Is your oath to the royal line and to the nation, or to the sitting king? If you see a conflict between the two,
They're giving him the finger of Sirius?
Jonason claims the treaty is not protecting the people, that it's setting us up for an even greater catastrophe.
Well, it might be. I mean, nobody trusts the Diluvians. Fizwell lists off names of those who had left with Jonason to form the Gauntlet, including Giselle Kira, the Basilica's arms trainer, while those remaining loyal included familiar artificers like Andrew Midgard and Higgins, and priests like Victoria DeWall.
The one who's into black?
What?
And also Father Fields, who sees his place as guarding the kings. What side is the organization on?
We ain't taking sides in no civil war, but we also ain't bound by no treaty. Word from up top is, try not to stir up any unnecessary Diluvian shite right now. Nothing that could result in blowback to the Vistrians. But that said, if there's a good opportunity,
A good target.
use your own judgment, but err on the side of being discreet. Nothing flashy, no making an example, for now, till we see how the situation plays out.
Well, tell the higher-ups that if there's a political contact that needs to be eliminated, I'm available.
Huh?
Nothing. Just organization stuff.
Okay, who do we kill to make this go away?
KT. Kill more KT.
Do you kill anyone?
Sounds like there's been no fighting yet. We are heavyweights when it comes to fighting, but I don't see anything yet that suggests we should get involved and tip the scales.
Unless some clear villains show up.
You know what then? Forget all that for now and cure my junk.
I'm a lost puppy right now. Whole bunch of people I don't know, breaking up with other people I don't know.
Yes, I literally know more about Nyogi politics than human affairs.
What are Nyogi politics?
Look at my possessions. They are so much shinier and more rare than your paltry collection. That's the gist of it. All the rest is just details.
Well, our priorities right now should be 1. Cure ourselves, 2. Prevent escalation, if we can.
Look, cure my junk. Then I'll recruit some orcs, march them around to rally people, and then go down into Verandi.
Eventually our time will run out. This spirit seed has already kept the astral plague at bay much longer than anyone expected. It's looking a little dimmer after all that shit you went through in the Shadowfell. And Rygax or Zahir should definitely be able to help figure out the incorporeal spirit-based component of your cure research. Which is the last part, I think. I've got soil samples from all 3 planes, plus my prismatronic energy scanner thing.
And once we cure the space aids, I can get my constitution restored.
First step, let's get back to our teleportation room.
And find my dad.
And Zahir.
And Daggerface.
Can we get horses?
Oh, you're in friendly friggin' territory. Horses should be no problem.
Aren't we honorary lieutenants or something? And Draven's a marquis. We could commandeer them.
Also, we have like a black hole filled with silver. We could just buy them.
A few shovelfuls of silver later, they were on their way, riding south. It was an uneventful ride through a couple small hamlets. No sign of angry mobs or whatnot? When you talk to people, there are plenty of nervous rumors going around about the treaty debate and the stances of various nobles, but you've seen no signs of escalation around here.
Good. I really don't want to have to walk into a town and cast blistering radiance.
Speaking of radiance, you guys have settled in for the night at the lone bed and breakfast in a community too small for a proper inn. But after the sun goes down, there's still some illumination against the dark sky, back in the direction you just came from.
How far away?
Hard to judge, but it could be maybe a day's ride. It's not that it's tremendously bright. Light carries far at night. But then again, to be visible from this distance must be pretty big.
Do we just turn around and ride back?
It'd take us all night.
Longer, because the horses need rest. Also me, I need rest. I'll cast Scrying, the druid version, because instead of 1,000 gold piece mirror as the focus, I can use a pool of water. Targeting a spell upon Glacier's central fountain, Draven sees corpses in the street, buildings on fire, but no soldiers running around, no torch-wielding mobs, nothing moving but the flames. Finally, you see someone drop down into view, having leapt from an upper floor of one of the burning buildings. They land on their feet but fall hard, one leg injured by the fall. When black smoke billows out from between two buildings, and from this dark cloud emerges the Headless Horseman.
Didn't we do away with him?
We saw Rygax destroy that thing.
That was the Albdrum's duplicate, not me.
The four-headed demon flail lashes out, shredding the prone villager, before the horseman rides back out of range of your scrying.
Headed our way.
He slaughtered the whole town looking for us.
He was able to respawn in the Albtrum zone? But I bet the rules are different here.
Just fix my junk. That's all I want. Alright, let's go destroy this thing. I don't even know how he's following us through all our protections.
I don't know either.
I suppose he could be tracking something we're carrying.
The f***ing seed?
Someone's immortality?
The Lich?
Oh, the Lich maybe.
Or he just actually knows how to track shit.
According to legend, the rider was an incredibly skilled warrior in life. Tracking wasn't mentioned, but it would not be a surprise.
And we weren't exactly hiding our activities.
Or it could be demigod-based cheating.
Wait, Rygax is still with us?
Hey, Rygax, do you have any information that might be helpful in this situation? Any information?
The Headless Horseman is a dangerous foe, but frankly, having seen what you all can do, I think he's a far greater threat to the towns and people between him and us. He can't be permanently stopped without returning his head, but if he were to fall here, he should be unable to return for a period of time, trapped within Albtrom's realm or elsewhere in the Hells.
Smash it till it stops moving and the problem goes away? Deal. Let's go. The party prepared for battle, setting up on the road just outside the town limits, Old West Sheriff style, and they waited. Over the course of hours, a couple new patches of light crop up, smaller but closer, as though the enemy was burning their way down the highway, until Krillidin spots a ripple of dark smoke streaking down the road towards them, a mere 50 feet away, arriving from the ruins of Glacier in roughly half the time that trip had taken their new horses. They all beat the horseman's initiative, but with that spooky underground movement, there was not much for them to attack yet. The Headless Horseman keeps a low profile.
He's short of countenance.
Because I'm insane and paranoid, I cast greater invisibility on myself.
Or casts haste.
You see licks of flame through the smoke as it approaches,
And he doesn't do it.
and about 6 feet from you, the smoke disappears down into the ground instead of rising up to attack.
I've never met anything so cowardly.
Their readied actions all go to waste for that round, but soon the trail of smoke arises again, 30 feet away, and coming at them perpendicular to the original approach. I'm waiting till I actually see him. Yeah, whatever, I'll bite. Searing charge! Little one rockets forward, beating a mischance and making a fortitude save to resist gagging on the noxious black cloud which surrounds the nightmare steed to hit it for 30 damage, though it ignores the chunk of that which was fire damage. It bites you back for 22, but it is only the demon mount. The rider, having been dropped off in the previous round, uses the distraction to rise up horror movie style next to Krillidin. What? They still had their readied actions, though. I force orb him for 32. The rider takes that, but they swing their four-headed demon chains around.
I so want that weapon. You said it counts as a spiked chain?
It's very magical, very chain. can be used as a flail or as a spike chain. However, I don't think Angel has any technique that would let her throw it 100 feet up toward the source of that spell. At me? Wait. So he comes up without the horse, yep, and throws the chain at me. Yep, way up in the air and improved invisible. Yep.
Can I, Knight's move in front of it?
That only moves you to flank an enemy, and it only works on your turn.
He's tracking you by way of that seed. I guarantee it.
50% miss chance since he only knows your location. Hits. And hits your AC. Take 28 damage. Thanks for not attacking me. I full attack. All 6 arrows hit. Take 77 plus 66. 143 damage. Wow, okay. Krillin basically chainsaws the armor in half, and put 2 down the neck hole for good measure.
That could Knight's move as it dies to deliver some unnecessary extra beatings.
Does that sound like Al? I don't think the Albtrom ever actually laughed that you can remember. Anyway, the severed corpse of the rider fades away while the chain plummets to the ground.
I'm grabbing that.
Yeah, nothing bad will happen from that.
From what?
So the horse should fade away too, right? It does not. Though with the rider gone, the beast goes from obedient to wild and tries to escape. Unlike the Headless Horseman, it leaves behind a smoldering, arrow-filled corpse. I'm getting a sample of that. This is what happens when they give you time to set up. All ambushes from now on.
Why would Buddy laugh after hitting you?
I'm sure it can only mean good things. Let's identify the weapon.
What weapon? I wonder if that's the whole point. Getting Angel the weapon?
What, you think it'll turn Angel evil? Yeah. Turn Angel evil.
Seriously, what if the point was to get the weapon to Angel?
Okay, let's disenchant it.
No.
No, I'd have to identify it first regardless.
You're better at Arcana than Angel, but not enough better to disenchant it without her noticing.
No, it's cool. We'll send you out scouting. Got to make sure nobody's coming for us.
Good luck with that.
The Chain of the Reaper appears to be a large-sized +4 unholy spiked chain, or flail. It glows a faint, sickly green when in the presence of one who has killed someone close to you. And against such a target, it has Bane as well. Was it glowing green in the rider's hands? No.
Because we haven't killed anyone close to him.
Alright, after identifying, when we get back together with the group, I'm going to grasp the weapon. Draven is good, so you'll take 2d6 damage from Unholy.
Let Angel do it. Doesn't hurt her.
That's the point, though. I want to see if Angel's killed anyone close to me. How does it tell you who the killer was? Good question. It doesn't. The glow is binary. Killer nearby or not. Though, if you hit them with it, you would feel the Bane activate.
So, you wouldn't know who they had killed either.
But no, the Chain of the Reaper does not glow vengeance for Draven.
Why did he laugh? Was it just to with us?
What if it taints the seed? What if he wanted to hit it one last time to taint the seed?
Well, where did it hit Draven? Did it hit him near the pocket where he keeps the seed?
Well, I mean, it hit him in a bunch of places because it's a friggin' four-headed demon chain. But sure, I guess one of the spots was near his breast pocket. I checked the seed. I mean, it still isn't looking so hot after getting back from the Shadowfell, but the readings aren't particularly different from your scan yesterday. Alright, here. The Chain of the Reaper. Still disturbed that it doesn't hurt Angel. What I'm getting here is that you'd be okay with it if it had a happier name. Chain of Justice.
I mean, if you called it Holy, it'd be okay. Like, the Holy Stealer of Souls. Sounds fine.
The Reaper ability is fine. It's the unholy part that's pretty telling. Guys, it's an inherently evil weapon that hurts anybody with a shred of soul in their body. But it seems fine for Angel.
This shocks you how?
Just making it clear.
Well, I made myself a sign.
It says, 0 to give, cure my junk. Nice.
They had won the battle, if you could even call it that. But assuming Glacier had been wiped out, the Headless Horseman had killed over 100 people hunting them down. I want to use sending to inform the other side, the people who left the hand. The Gauntlet of Sirius. Yes, I want to let them know about the destruction here because we don't want some misunderstanding to spark a civil war. You still can't reach the Earl of Hanley. Who else do we know?
Could contact Anton Pike. If they have less than half our people, he's probably decently high rank, but kind of a dick. Or you could try Giselle Kira, the arms trainer. She's a bit of a badass.
And not a dick. At least, we didn't think so till she turned on the hand. Alright, I'll try her. Draven contacts Giselle via sending, explaining how the Headless Horseman had destroyed Glacier and a couple hamlets, before he and Black were able to destroy the monster. I am not used to this magic. Sorry, I couldn't reach the Earl. I will pass this on. Hopefully we can prevent it from making things worse. But does this mean Hugh and Black are not coming along with us? We just got back from the Shadowfell. We're not yet fully up to date on the situation. My chief concern is the stability of the realm. Well, if you care about stabilité, you should really go with Anley. Then how do I reach him? I will pass this on, so he may contact you. I don't think she knows.
Not directly, but if Hanley's spycraft is as good as they say, he'll have built, or at least planned, a communication network before he made his move.
He's gone full Nick Fury. That's very interesting. Cure my junk! The organization's only presence in this small town is a runner who goes by the name Legs, the same codename used by about a third of their runners. But before they set out once more, Angel gets Legs to pass a message up the chain that
the Earl of Hanley has gone off the grid, and Angel and the Marquis of Rowan need to contact him.
No more extra-dimensional horrors assault them as they ride south for several days till they reach the campsite near Grandmount, the Fadelands version of Balvan's Mountain. About a week after their original plane shift, their teleport rune was still there, and more importantly, they reunited with Gabriel Black, with Zahir, who is recovering much more quickly from their ordeal, and with Daggerface.
I knew those vampire kings couldn't get you.
Ah! You saw his face before. Yeah, but I wasn't really paying attention. There was other shit going on at the time.
We were going to put a mask on him,
but we figured it might make him go evil.
As they catch up with their allies, Rygax lets them know that he is parting ways. I'm going to take this opportunity to visit some of the shepherds at the Western Lighthouse Shrine before I decide my next moves. I know the last week was quite an ordeal for all of us, but never forget the great things you have done. You restored the mountain's long-lost ring, rescued your friends, evaded 2 vampire kings, and defeated several lieutenants, and even bested the Albtrom at his sick games. Not to mention, you are all heroes in my book.
Thank you, Rygax.
Did I ever get around to punching him?
No, but we did kill fake Rygax.
Yeah, okay. I guess that's good enough.
Using the teleport rune previously set up, they return to make sure Polaron Controller and GE7 are okay, and they pick up Liz and Rainbow Dash before teleporting back to New Vanover. All we need now is my equipment at the Basilica.
If Zahir can help with your final experiment.
I'm feeling much better now, thanks to all of you. I'm sure I can help you cure my junk. Next time on Tales from My D&D Campaign.
Goodbye, Albtrom.
Are we even sure that we got out?
I'm sure we're in the Fadelands now.
If you're even the real Rygax.
Wow, that's...
I mean, if you're going full Matrix, it's going to be very hard to prove one way or the other. I'm half Eladrin too, and this sure feels like the Fadelands.
Wait a minute. If we were in the Shadowfell, Draven's flight would already be above the ceiling.
Yeah, but Al already cheated that. He had a taller concave area where we fought Shadow Kajorn.
Are we still in Al's? I'll just put an arrow in each of us and call it a day. I'll never trust anything again. We have to assume we're back in the real world, because if not, we're just completely screwed. And if this is just another fake out, I won't have a ride home.